to continue. But all things being equal, this should be the last edition, and that's why we left it for the crop of players that we have in the studio today. I've given you a hint by saying the crop of players. Let me start introducing them. And these are people who have played at the highest level. So nobody can come and deny or talk or say, Wamba Black Stars. No. I'll start from my extreme left. He was a member of the national team that played in the 2014 World Cup. He took over from Acquaye after the first game. He is none other than our own Fatau Dauda. Fatau, thanks for coming on the program today.
You're welcome.
He was the goalkeeper. So now we've got the goalkeeper. After we finish with the goalkeeper, where do you go? You go to the defender. The defender that we have was not a fully fledged defender because he could play in midfield, he could play on the lateral, and even in some extreme cases, when his team was in dire need of a goal, he could be pushed up front. He left these shores, went and furthered his education, and is now an American Ghanaian or Ghanaian American, I don't know which applies, but he's a very good friend of mine, and he played for Hearts of Oak, he played for the Black Stars. Joado, thank you for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So from the defense, where do we go to? The midfielder. Yet another of the young breed that played not in one, but in 2 World Cups. He was there in 2006, he was there in 2010. A midfielder of the highest order. He is, how do I put it? He's very young. And I'm using my words, but very, very young, because when we were discussing, unfortunately, Isaac Acquaye's demise, he said, hey, I wasn't born at that time, that when Isaac was playing. He's none other than Derek Boateng. Derek, thanks for coming to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Last, certainly not the least, an attacker. I'm going to use the word attacker because he wasn't just necessarily a winger. He played center forward sometimes when there was a need. He scored loads of goals, but he's best remembered for his role in 1989 and 1991 at the Black Starlets level, and he shone like a beacon. He then moved over to Belgium and went and did his own thing up there. Before he left, he was given the nickname Rush, after the great Liverpool striker Ian Rush, for the goals that he scored. Yao, thanks for coming to the program.
Merci.
And incidentally, both Yao and Joe were in the Hearts of Oak team that stopped Asante Kotoko for making it 4 league titles in a row. After, in 1986, the Nyaho Tamaklo administration had got rid of a whole bunch of players. 25 players were removed. And he brought in the likes of Joe, Alamu, those who remember Ablade Kuma. He got them in there. And then when the Black Satellites went and did their thing in 1989, even though they didn't qualify for the next stage, they were so good that Nyaho went and stole Yao Prekum and then added him, and they completed the whole set, and then they put a halt to Kotoko's winning a 4th league title in a row in 1990. Let me confess, at that time I was angry because I was a Kotoko fan. Obviously, that's 30 years ago. Kotoko is now another part of my history. But folks, thanks for coming on the program. And I suspect you'll guess that they are not here for anything. They're going to look at how their Black Stars was. And remember, this is all in preparation towards the World Cup qualifier, which will take place tomorrow. But I only have to start with the unfortunate news. This morning, I got a WhatsApp message, and I got a message from George Al-Hassan, who was the goal scorer, or the top goal scorer in the 1982 African Nations Cup, that a member of the 1978 squad that he had played with, Isaac Acquaye, then with Dumas Boys, played for Olympics, played for Acquaye United, had passed on. For those who don't know Isaac Acquaye, he later became a coach, did it with Liberty and some other teams, but he was best noted for actually taking Awule Acquaye, who was the captain of the 78 squad, taking his position as a centre-back next to Kuku Dadze, such that Awule Acquaye also moved to left back to take the late Emmanuel Ofansa's position within the team. Many people had various nicknames for him. Disco Face, people remember it. Boshito, Barrier. Brilliant centre-back. And I doff my hat to him for his services to Ghana. Isaac, rest in peace. Ghana thanks you for your services. We can't pay you back, but you made it, and you made us have a smile on our face, particularly in 1978. Right, so since you know him, and Isaac was a boy who was in Tema, and Joe is a Tema boy, no matter what slangs can come from Joe's mouth, he's a pure Tema boy. Joe, what can you talk about Isaac?
A lot. We can have a whole segment to talk about him, because like you rightly said, I was born and bred in Tema. I've lived all my life in Tema. And growing up, the team that made it, make us remember or love football was Dumas Boys of GTP. And he was a member of that squad. And I used to play different positions, goalkeeping and all those things. But Isaac made me love playing defense because of the way he was. You see him, he's big, he's strong and everything, but he doesn't play as physical as he looks. He plays with a lot of intelligence. And I looked at him, he and Collins Parr at the defensive, it was excellent. And, I'm really hurt by his demise, and I hope the family takes heart. It's unfortunate that we have to wait for a great person like that to die before we eulogize him.
It's a problem.
It's a big problem.
The problem.
And I, for one, want to say a lot of things about some of our stars, who have made it and made Ghana really, really proud. That all we hear about is the negative things people have been saying about them, and that needs to stop. But for me, Isaac Acquaye is to me, it's a very sad day for me.
As a defender, how would you classify him as one of the best you've seen?
Oh yes, definitely, by far. I can go first three. My number one is Kuku Dadze, who I lived up, because I saw him play. He was excellent. I always wanted to play like him. My number two is Isaac Acquaye. And number three is Samson Lamte. These are guys that I was always looking at, and I started playing their style of football and loved them.
That's very true, folks. You may think he's exaggerating. He's not, because the players that he's mentioned, Kuku Dadze, Isaac Acquaye, and Samson Lamte, were the sort of graceful defenders that were then not too popular, because remember Seth Ampedu, who could, Tony Micah, who could, but they were the ones who could play with the ball. I don't know, Yao, you saw the tail end of Isaac's career. Can you put in a word or two?
I remember, I think I was then a coach player. We used to go to the stadium before to play curtain raiser. And I remember we've heard a name, as a coach player, we heard a name, but for you to see him face to face, it was amazing, sitting there and watching him play. I think he was then coming to the end of his career, but he was difficult to beat. When you watch him, the way he composed with the ball and the way he commands on the pitch, then it's, it baffles you, hey, is that the old Isaac Acquaye you've been hearing? And he took control over the game, and then people will tell you he's even coming to the end of his career. He's not that Isaac Acquaye, like Joe said. You can see him bulky. Those days we used to wear the small football pants, like the boxer shorts, so you could see their muscles, But the way he takes control over the ball, was something that.
Interesting. I'm not going to ask Fatawo and Derek, because it won't be fair to them. But they are the new breed. So I will start, folks. We are moving to the main discussion, which is tomorrow. Derek, you were in 2 World Cup squads, 2006, 2010. Fatawo was in 2014. What was it like within your Black Star squad, when, for instance, you're coming up in a match like against Nigeria, what do the players think about? Is it Nigeria, or just say, oh, these people we have normally been? Because Yao's debut was against Nigeria in Surulere, Lagos. And I'll tell you what happened there. What was it like? I mean, when you were here in 2008, weren't you? The Nations Cup.
Yep.
And you met Nigeria, or we met Nigeria.
Yeah.
We beat them 2-1 after getting, was it John Mensah who was sent off? I think so.
Yeah, John Mensah.
John Mensah was sent off, and then it was Peter Odemwingie also, who had run free, and he brought him down, so that we were now playing 10 against 11, and still
they couldn't beat us.
They still couldn't beat us. What was the atmosphere like in terms of when you were in camp with the boys then?
I think, you know, it's a huge game, you know, even not just on the pitch, outside the pitch, the fans, you know, the way they talk about the game as a player, when you hear about it, you know, you have to understand that there is something going on that you have to be ready for. And Ghana versus Nigeria is not an easy game, you know, and even we always fighting about everything, even common jollof, we are fighting about common jollof. So. And, you know, but all the time, you know, I'm always happy that after the game, every game we play against them, we are friends, we're still friends. But playing against Nigeria, I think, is not an easy game. It's a really, really tough game. And the only thing I would say that the only thing that will make difference is like the small details in the game. You know, that's what players have to pay attention to. And for Nigerians, they're afraid of us. But to be honest with you, we're also afraid of them too. Though it's not an easy game, like I said earlier on. And if you are going to play against Nigeria, your concentration has to be double. Because we don't want to lose. They don't want to lose, we don't want to lose, because of the friendship that we have. And like a lot of Nigerians live in Ghana, a lot of Ghanaians live in Nigeria, so we're always teasing each other. And yesterday I had a call from one of my friends that I play against from Nigeria. His name is Udeze. He was playing for West Bromwich, and he was playing for Park. And
okay.
Yeah, he runs radio shows in Nigeria, and he calls me and he was talking about it. And he was asking me when we play against them in African Cup of Nations in Mali, 2001. 2002, yeah.
We lost 1-0.
Yeah, we lost 1 in the quarterfinals. Yeah. I was playing against them. I was playing as a winger, and he was playing as a left back. And
okay.
Yeah, it was really, really a tough match. And after the game, he came to me and hugged me, and he said to me that he doesn't want to play against Ghana. Anything. And I said to him, yeah, I know, but you know, at the end of the game, they won the game. But all the same, playing Nigeria is not an easy game. It's really, really a tough match. But I think the players have to concentrate and just pay attention to the small details on the field.
Incidentally, for the record books, folks, like Derek said, in 2002 we lost 1-0. In 2006 we lost 1-0 in Egypt. And then 2008 we beat them 2-1 in Ghana. And then 2010 we beat them in the semi-finals 1-0 with that Asamoah header. Fatah, yours came a bit later. When I say later, obviously now it's like it's far off. But we almost met them in the 2013 African Nations Cup final. Unfortunately, we lost to Burkina Faso. You are a member of that squad.
Sure.
Were you people thinking ahead of time that, oh, Burkina, now we are going to meet Nigeria in the final? Because I can tell you that, unfortunately, many of us here support us. Oh, Burkina, did that thing get down to the players back in South Africa then, 2013?
Well, I think I was in the 2008 AFCON. I was in the squad as a third choice. I was on the bench when we beat them 2-1.
Okay.
The atmosphere, the energy at the stadium that day was super. Even when we were down by 1 man, we still beat them. Until then, we couldn't beat them. As you're saying, in the 2013 AFCON in South Africa, I was in the team. And I got a chance to play and go. We were there thinking of meeting them, but they also know definitely when we finish Burkina, we are meeting them. So when Burkina eliminated us, they knew no, they are gone. Definitely they will take the cup, but they were scared of us. Nigeria was scared of us. For now, if we go on paper, Nigeria is ahead of us, but Nigeria and Ghana is a game of pride. It's a game of attitude, character. It's like Hassan Kotoko when it comes to the local league. We don't play with form. if we form this season, I've been watching matches, both Kotoko and Haas game. Kotoko is ahead of Haas, but when they met Accra Sports, it was draw, and then the President Cup Haas won. It's not about form. The same as Ghana and Nigeria. This is a game. I think a lot of people will keep eye on this game, both Nigeria and Ghana. If you follow social media, there are a lot of things going on there. A lot. They are making fun, but they have taken the match serious because of the record at hand. They are taking the match serious. But I think we playing home first is good, because the boys, most of the time when they go away, they go out, they play good. So if and only if you are able to get a good result in Kumasi tomorrow, I'm very sure we'll eliminate Nigeria. Because Nigeria, they can't pressure. Their supporters, the way they support, sometimes they give pressure to their players. I've been there for 3 years. Coach Ploko knows. Even their local league, they don't joke. So I think if we are able to get a good result here, I think we'll qualify before going to Abuja. So I think this game, as Derek said, is a game of pride. Everybody is putting his heart. Even I saw something in the social media. I don't know whether it's true. They say their president will come to watch the second leg. I don't know whether it's true. So this tells you how their heart is on this game. So I think I'm very sure tomorrow the guys will deliver. We should get a good result. With that, I think we'll finish them in Abuja in the second leg.
Yeah, you and Joe, at least you in 91, you made your debut. Joe had already, you were part of the team that beat them 1-0 in Kumasi. Was it Sarah Mensah?
Yeah.
In 1990. Yeah. And then by the time we went for the return, you were also in the team.
Yeah.
Please tell me. I mean, what was it like? And your Bokat Caesar almost caused a rout there.
Yeah.
You know what he did? No. The coach, the German coach.
Sule Butari's friend.
Bokat Caesar.
No.
He's teasing.
I remember Bukat was in Belgium to pick Lamte.
Okay.
You know, he came to Belgium, and fortunately for us, it was on Thursday when he arrived. We were playing 2 aside, and then he saw us play, and the way we delivered, as Gasari and I, after the game, we went to lunch with him, and then Keshi came. Keshi also came in. Stephen Keshi came there, and he told Keshi, I'm taking the boys with me. And Keshi told him, we are not going to joke in Nigeria. Don't take my boys along and go and kill them. And look at, jokingly, he just said it, and we thought he was just coming from Odatilamte. But he said, you know, you guys are going with me.
He took the 3 of you.
Yeah, the 3 of us. Ghana, Nigeria. In Nigeria. Hey, Bukat. This is no joke. You are joking with the heart of Ghanaians. So, Lord on the whole, we came to Accra. We arrived, and the camp was so packed, full of professional players, the local base, you know, the likes of Amas Senegal, Frimpons, and when I arrived there, but fortunately for me, before I left the country, I was one of the best wingers in the country already before I left Ghana. So they didn't intimidate me. You know, when I arrived my first training, I continue where I left, but Yao has arrived. So, you know, Joe's and the rest, they supported me, but I didn't know I was going to play. To be frank, I didn't know I was going to play. And, you know, Bukat was full of tricks, you know. I didn't know I was going to go. When he put this thing, a POP on Eddie and Son's hand, when we arrived there, we thought he's not going to be in goal. You know, it was in Lagos when he told me, I was told, yeah, you're starting. Starting.
How did you feel like?
Hi. My heart, my heart, because look, you're talking about Friday Lahos and the Stephen Keshis and the Eguavons and men at work. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, men at work. Keep right. So it's not. the sign is men at work, so you have to keep right.
Don't go left.
Don't go left.
But you had a great game that day.
I did.
Yeah.
I
You had a
did.
great game. I remember it very well.
I remember it was. I think Richard now.
Very good.
Yes, because I played with Now here before he left the country. So together, we know each other very well. So Buka told me, we're going to play compact and we'll use the counter on them. So when we are in control of the ball, all I need to do just run to space for them to. And when you are running and you hear them coming behind, yes, and with their muscles and this boxer shorts.
I can imagine.
Yes, but you know, immediately the game starts. I remember when we were going for warming up, the warming up alone, when we came out of the tunnel, because the stadium was, the dressing was under. So when we came out, it was packed, green. And then I think the Ghanaian supporters were somewhere, small, and you could hear them like ladies singing. Yeah, and they started putting at us, the Nigerians, because Bukka said they were looking for Pele, Abedi.
Yeah.
And Pele was not part of them. Nobody wore the 10 shirt. He said Pele was on.
He was on his way.
Yeah.
That guy.
But, you know, for me as a young child, you know, chap coming up, I had men behind me, the likes of Pias and the Senegals, and you know, so I just went in to do my own thing. Pressure wasn't on me.
And Bukka caused chaos when they say don't walk onto the field before the match.
Yes.
He walked onto the field in front of 80,000 Nigerians who were going mad and were throwing all manner of things, and went and stood at the center circle, walked one goal, went and stood there. Charlie, look, he could have led to a route.
Yeah. I was.
Joe, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there. And you had played earlier in Kumasi, the 1-0, in which he, for some reason, he decided to. Where did he play this guy? He played somebody at right back. Abra, thank you.
You know, what he played was the 3-back system.
Yeah.
By that time, we were not used to it.
Yes. The 3-back system with Ampia, Amasiniga, and Frimpong. And Abra on the...
And he played in midfield.
Kwesi.
No, I didn't start.
You didn't start that one, you came in?
No, Bukka, when he came, we were 2 players. He said he didn't want in the Black Stars. It's me and Shamukwe.
Yeah, Shamukwe, I remember that one.
He said he didn't want us. But we were not used to coaches who will call you into their office and talk to you. We weren't used to that. We were used to the brute coaches, you know, Samade Dems, if they are sharing the jersey, you know you are not playing. He won't even look at your face the whole week. But this man invited me to his office. He had already talked to Shamo and brought people at Winneba. And he says to me, "You are a very good player. I like you a lot. But for my team, I don't like defenders who like to dribble. Because of that, I want you to go home."
That's why I brought Sam Johnson.
Yeah. He told me straight away. So then I asked him, "Can I speak?" He said, nobody ever says anything. When I talk, they listen and they go.
Yeah.
You are the first one who, okay, talk. What do you want? And I asked him, I'm very adaptable. If you want me to play different positions, I can play. If you want me to kick, I can kick. So what do you want me to do? Because I want to be in the team. He says he will think about it. But the fact that I've been able to talk to him, he will let me stay. So I stayed. And for the whole training session, I never played center back. Never. I was playing with Amasiniga in House of Folk, 4 and 5.
Yes, I know.
But in the Black Stars, he never played me center back. He played me right back, right mid. When Abedi came, he said I should cross the balls to Abedi. Oh, that's all I. So me, I knew I wasn't going to play in that game. I even knew that the selection going to Kumasi, I wasn't going to be in it. And I'll tell you one funny thing, and people don't know about this. Ghana had never played a game in Kumasi before Bukka came. It had not happened. We always play in Accra or Cape Coast. Bukka came, and immediately he wanted to change the captain. And he says, no, he doesn't understand why a local player will be captain when we have a professional. So he is changing the captain. And the sports minister back then, Sarah Mensah,
I know.
He said, no, you can't do that. He said, well, I'm doing it. And he came to the press and told them the captain is Abedi Pele. Just like that. So people were mad, especially the Ashantis. They were pissed.
And who was the captain before?
Kwesi Appiah was the captain.
Let me explain something to you.
You were in camp. Yeah. I remember. You used to come to the camp. Yeah.
Bukka had told us, and I'll mention names now. Myself, Joe Agri, Papa Pencil, Kwabna Ejapong, Tito Engman, Dr. Martin Engman. He was the team most of the time. I told us that he could not guarantee Kwesi Appiah a starting place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The captain.
Yes, that was back in 1991 March. He could not guarantee him. So he was going to change the captaincy. And was going to do it after the tournament is over. So it doesn't, the qualifiers are over, so it doesn't shake
The team.
And he informed the FA at the time. But because the man was stepping on toes all over the place, he was not loved. That's why he was telling the fighting with everybody. And so once we had qualified, he got fired. But because he had told the FA then, the FA then decided to also have a conference to say that they were changing the captaincy from Kwesi Appiah to Abedi. And then the question was asked, why? And that's where the infamous words of, we're going to a tournament in a French-speaking country, and so therefore, Bokad was going to do it, and he knew how he was going to do it. Like he said, he would have called Kwesi and told him.
Oh, he will call you and talk to you, and that's one thing I liked about him. He didn't mince words. He will tell you straight away. And those days, we were playing for Hearts of Oak. They don't give you any role. They just select you, defender, you stay here. And I was stubborn, so I never stayed.
Okay.
You know, I'll go forward. You saw.
Yeah, I know.
I'll go and I'll score. And the coaches will be like, oh, go. But next time, if you go and you lose the ball, I'll go, I'll do the same thing, and I'll score again. So I was an orthodox player. And he liked that. He will give you a role. He will give you, and I only found out that when I went to professional. But he gave us role. But I was telling him this story. He said to the FA, where he said, and Bukart had access to Rawlings. He didn't care about the GFA president or the minute. He would go straight to the head of state to ask whatever we want, and they will give it to us. He asked for a bus, they gave us a bus. He asked for new training facility, new shirt, they gave everything we wanted. He asked for our money to be paid, they will bring the money to the camp. No, he was amazing. Then he said we're going to play the game in Kumasi. It's never happened before.
I know.
But he knew in his mind what he wanted to do. Guess what? When we went there, he knew Kwesi wasn't going to play. He knew. He told Abedi and Joe Debra to go to the field and juggle the ball. And the Ashanti hated him. They wanted to kill him. But when they saw Abedi and Joe Debra, that was the end of everything. Just warm up.
They forget about Kwesi.
They forgot about everything. They started singing. Buka, they carried him after the game. After the game, the Kumasi fans carried him. 1-0.
And Sarah Mensah, Kotoko player, got the only goal. You can imagine how Kumasi was like.
And before I stopped, I was in the Black Stars in '89. That's when I went. The late Osamdu brought me in. So I was part of the squad for a long time. But I never got consistent play. I was always a sub, you know, here and there. But when Buka came from '90, I started to be a regular. But like I said, he didn't want me in the team
Initially.
But he knew I could play. And he knew he could use me. Like I said, in training, I never played center back. Never, not even once. I was somewhere, even when they're playing 6 against 6, 7 against 7, he would never play me. He would tell me to run, you know, cross balls. So I said, but I was quiet because I wanted to be on the team. So we went to Kumasi, and we saw all this, you know, the euphoria and the players, Amokachi, Yakini, Uche and all these. Today. But I was when the list came out, I was on the bench. I said, hey, super. I'm good. And then 1 minute after the game started, 1 minute, the first minute, Frimpong broke his toe. And we had Sam Johnson was on the bench. You know, we had defenders on the bench. As soon as he didn't even blink, he said, Joe, get up, go and warm up. I said, this man wants to disgrace me. He's never played me center back before. How am I going to mark? And he told me specifically, I'm going to mark Amokachi. And Amokachi then was playing for Everton. Yeah. He was the first African to do advert for Coca-Cola. I was in the States, so I knew of him. So I said, what? This coach wants to disgrace me. But he knew what I was capable of.
Then he was then playing for Bruges.
Bruges, Club Bruges. Yes.
Club
Bruges.
Bruges.
You guys were in Belgium.
Because I was in Belgium. I was playing for So he was in
and then before he left
to Everton,
he was in tip-top shape. Like I was saying, our shorts was like boxer shorts. And you see the legs on those players.
Huge.
I was like, what? But I went in, is because of the role he gave me to play. I played my role.
Did he tell you specifically what he wanted you to do?
Yes.
Okay.
He told me not to go beyond the role that he was giving me.
Okay.
That he wants me to play safe. That I should trust the players in front of me. And just be mindful of Amokachi. Because he's quick, he can shoot, he's good in the air. So he gave me everything just before I went to the field though. He didn't tell me this in pre-match. Okay. He told me on the field, do this, do it. And when he was talking, he was going here and because I was looking at the pitch, I said, damn, I'm going to mount it. But that was how good Bukar was. He could see players and know exactly what they were capable of. And ever since then, I never sat down. I played the whole time.
I think Yekini played that much.
Yeah, Yakini played. He was a striker.
In the team at the time.
Amokachi was the number 10.
Yakini was,
you know, and Friday Laho was
the number 11.
Yes, and Ukichuku was
0.
And they had this fair left back, fair, very fair, very skillful. He's a little bit like, he was a little bit like Kwesiapia. Yes, very fair, skillful. I remember when I played against him. I remember when I played against him. He gave me more confidence because he wasn't the type of, you know, the Ama Senegal and Pia type of.
Okay, who would? If you miss the ball,
yes,
you don't miss the man.
No, when you are with the ball, he wants to win the ball. Yeah, and I like players like that. Okay, and he wasn't that fast, but very intelligent, like Kwesiapia. Wasn't that?
I'm sure the name will come up. Don't worry, I'm sure the name will come up. So clearly, we've been given them whatnot. The good thing about it all is that you guys have played against Nigeria. For those of us on this side, we've always been, well, we've had the privilege of having gone to Lagos, having gone to, but Lagos wasn't Abuja at the time. Having been to Lagos, having been to watching Accra and Kumasi, Nigeria. And the first time I particularly saw Nigeria, I'll be frank with you, we had just come back from the UK. We had gone to my father's friend's house and we were making too much noise. So they gave us money and they told the driver, just to say from Benjamin, told the driver, send them to Accra Stadium. That was the day Ghana was playing Nigeria. And Ghana won 3-0 that day. But that match is normally remembered for the fact that Kwesi Owusu was slapped by Emmanuel Okada, the Nigerian goalkeeper. Yeah, at the stadium there. And Ghanaians became quiet. In your own stadium, you couldn't even say Accra Stadium. But having said all this, we are playing tomorrow, and it's a key qualifier. You have got there before. You have got there before. What do you do the day before? Because the pressure on you people, particularly, I remember it was Egypt, the 6-1. That's when it settled everything. But before then, nobody could dream of us beating Egypt 6-1. For instance, what was going on in your mind the night before?
Well, I remember by then I was with Orlando Pirates. I wasn't getting playing time.
Okay.
They knew the match was a tough match, it was a crucial match, and it's a playoff. And that's the year they started playing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I was in South Africa, hearing a lot of things. Our number one goalkeeper is not playing. So by then, Olele went to Cyprus. He was playing, he was doing good. So they feel like, no, they have to bring experienced goalkeeper because he's playing. He has seen it all. So we came, they invited him, I came. And by then we had a psychologist, Professor Minta. He was a psychologist. So a day before the match, he goes to the players' room. So he came to my room, I remember, I will never forget. He came to my room. He said, safe hands. He used to call me safe hands. It's part of the psychology he's giving me. Safe hands. I know what you can do. I don't know if you play tomorrow, but if you play, don't be scared that you make a mistake, because you can train 3 times a day for the whole week. You will still make a mistake. Go there and do what you can do. Don't be scared that you make a mistake. So I put that in my head. So the match day, nobody tells me that I'm going to start. Coach Apia didn't tell me, but I was prepared. I was ready. By then, like 80%, I know maybe I will not play because the way the Ghanaians are saying. But what helped me, the word that Professor Mta gave me and the preparation that I prepared myself. So when the squad came, the day, the pre-match meeting, he brought the squad. I was starting and I was okay because I was prepared. So I think the man helped with the word he gave me. Okay. It helped me. I will never forget this thing. He say, go and play. Don't be scared that you make a mistake. And that's the only thing that sometimes scared me, that I'll make a mistake, they will shout at me. But when he said that, I believe it's true. I've been watching games. Big players, big goalkeepers are playing, they are doing mistakes, but they will still play. So why should I be scared? And I put it in my head, and I went there, and grace fell on us. That is 6-1. Yeah.
You performed.
Sure.
That, I was just watching the game back not too long ago, and it blew my mind the way you guys, it was like, I don't know.
And there was a thing Sule Mutaro said after the warm-up. We came for warm-up, and it was raining that day. It was raining heavily. But the supporters, they were in the rain, and we went back to the dressing room. He told us, hey guys, look at how the supporters are standing in the rain. Let's go and kill these people. Truly, we went and they killed them.
Derek, in the Black Star squad that you were in, did you have any psychologist, like the way he spoke about, the way Professor Minta went from room to room to room to go and talk to all the players?
Most of the time, we talk to each other.
Okay.
In the camp, between us, some of the senior players, we go to the rooms of the young players that are coming new. We go there and talk to them, because most of the time they will be playing very good football in their club, but when they come to the national team, they are scared. You see them, they cannot perform, and it's really, really bad sometimes. So what we do is, like, we normally go to their rooms. I remember in South Africa, 2013 African Cup of Asia, I went to Christian Achu's room, and I was talking to him, because we all knew what he can do. Great player, and we know that he can help us a lot. So I went to his room and I started talking to him, and after talking to him, he hugged me. And I felt something, that like is really, really important to him, that I came to the room and talked to him. So I think most of the time we do that. Also Sule Mutare, also me, and most of the time we are in a room together, me and him, and we always talk. We always talk not only about football, about life, about everything, how we carry ourselves outside the pitch and everything. So most of the time I think we always talk to each other, and it helps us a lot. Because it's really, really important. If you are going for a game, you don't think about just yourself. You have to think about the whole team and the whole players, that some of the players need help. So we make sure that we are there for them, and we always give them words of encouragement and confidence in the game.
Folks, in case you switched on your TV set, yes, that's Derek Boateng, and he's not the only one in here. There is Fatawu Dawood as well. There is Joe Ado. There is Yao Preku. These are people who have played for the national team at various stages, and I had to limit it from 1990 going, so that the majority of you, admittedly, are from the younger generations. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion and focus on what they think should be the plan for tomorrow. Please don't go anywhere. Right, folks, we are back, and I've got 4 ex-internationals with me in the studio. I'm very, very... These are people who know what it feels like to be kicked, rather than the Kautufos of this world who sit on the other side and theorize and say things like, why he should have tackled, he should have stopped. I'll tell you one thing, folks. Azumani also used to tell me one of the things that used to irritate him was when somebody has landed a punch on him and he cannot see, all he's seeing is stars, and then we hear a voice in his corner shouting, "Charlie Chap, dodge my blow!" He can't even see that thing coming. You're telling him, God, you don't know what you're talking about. So I highly respect it, and that's why GBC has a policy now: take footballers to be on their panels, and that's why when it's boxing, they take boxers. They know what it feels like. When you are hit, what do you do? When you are kicked, what do you do? Not those of us here who can speak Blair. And then you say you should have done this and that. And having said all that, even though we are looking forward to the match against Nigeria, it's also a very sad day in the history of Ghana football, particularly the Black Stars. Isaac Acquaye, Coach Isaac Acquaye, who was an absolutely masterful defender back in the 70s and the early 80s, played for Ghana in the 78 and the 1980 Nations Cup in Nigeria. Unfortunately, has passed on. He was the sort of defender, as my guest said, that he was a cultured defender, one that would play out rather than using brute strength. But yet, you couldn't push him over. And he was the perfect complement for Pukudaze in that 1978 squad. Isaac Acquaye, disco face, Borsheto, barrier, rest in peace. Right, so we are looking towards the final World Cup qualifier, both the first leg in Kumasi tomorrow, and then 4 days later in Abuja at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. And the winner in terms of the aggregate score will go to Qatar 2022. And I'll tell you one thing, I was highly skeptical. I really was. But something has come over me. And that something is that as the days have been coming closer, I've started getting visions that, Charlie, as we say in Ghana, we will shock them. And this is the package for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a marathon session. The discussion will start at 1:30 p.m. The first match, DR Congo against Morocco. That will be on GTV Sports Plus. Then on GCTV and GTV Sports Plus at 5 p.m., Cameroon against Algeria. On the other channel, GBC main channel, we will show the third match being played at the same time. Unfortunately, the match that you guys want to watch alongside Ghana and Nigeria, Senegal against Egypt, will be played at the same time as Ghana. And obviously, we will have to show Ghana and Nigeria. So when that is over, we'll play back the Senegal-Egypt match, which many of you have been talking about. I'm on the platform of Liverpool supporters, and they are all talking about Mo Salah against Sané. Mo Salah against Sané. For me, there's only one winner as far as I'm concerned. I don't want Egypt to go anywhere. Folks, so let's get back to your time in the Black Stars. Interesting that Fatawu told us about the way Professor Menta went from room to room talking to the players. In your time, was that there?
No.
Wow. Prayers.
We didn't have
prayers.
We
just meet for prayers.
For me, the person who did a lot for me was Abedi.
Okay.
He will go to everybody's room, regardless. He will come, footballer, we don't sleep on time. After we eat, we sit, we joke, play cards, play, do stuff. And sometimes he goes late in the night. And the game is the next day. But we don't care. We know we'll be fit. We'll be ready to play. But he will come from France. He will come like a day or 2 days before the game. We've been in camp all this while doing our thing. He will come and he will shut us down. He will come and turn off the lights. Whoa, yes. When we are playing the cards, he will come and warn us that, oh, around 9:30 we should go to bed. And we are big boys, so they won't, yeah. 9:30 he will come and turn off the lights. Wow. And kick everybody out of the room. And then when you are in your room, he had certain players he would go to, and I was one of them. Because we were very young. I played under 17, under 20. I had no business playing for the Black Stars, and I was too young. But he will come to the room and talk to you. And he doesn't know if you play or not, but he will tell you, look, whatever you've been doing in training is the same thing that applies on the field. He did a lot for me when I was in the national team.
Yautu told me the same thing, particularly with Isaac Asari. He seemed to have a fun.
Yeah. Isaac was his favorite. Isaac was his favorite. He still asks of Isaac. Isaac was his favorite. You know, Isaac shocked everybody in Senegal '92 when I think because he got injured also, and then he took over for a young up and coming, and then to play against the likes of against Nigeria, Congo, and Isaac shocked everybody. And every game, he was on top of his game. Every game, you could see, you know, because I was in Senegal, I got injured before the tournament, but Otto, you know, took me along. And when you sitting on the bench and you watch Isaac Asari, you will admire him. Short man devil, very intelligent. You know, one-on-one, he's difficult to beat, and that's the kind of players Pele liked. He said, he's difficult. He's too intelligent. You take the ball away from you and he will dribble you. And he doesn't talk. So he always asks of Isaac, where is Isaac? Like when we are at the corridor and he asks, where he's in the room. You get me, like, you know, but those days, you know what is at stake. You know what is at stake, especially when you're going to play against Nigeria. You know, you've played against, you know, the tension between Haas and Kotoko. And majority of the players were from Haas and Kotoko. So you know what is at stake. What you've experienced against, if you're a Haas player, against Kotoko, you know this is double. And if you are able to play well against Nigeria, then you are safe in the national team. If you fumble, then you'll be gone. Because it's like Hasekoto, like Razak came from nowhere and he scored that important goal for House of Folk. Now he's Hallelujah Razak. When he went around the goalkeeper, normally Razak will go around the goalkeeper and then he would just, you find the ball outside somewhere. But he took the right decision. And against Nigeria, that is what everybody needs to do. You need to take the right decision. You need to focus. You just relax. It's just a football game. But until then, you'll be hearing. And unfortunately for them, our time, there was no, you know, you guys talk, but we were not hearing. No. You know, in terms of, you know, social media, we were not hearing. We were just, our own thing is to go to the grounds until you come to the grounds and you talk to us. We will not. Where am I going to tune in to go and listen with? I'm already with my Walkman. I'm listening to Bob Marley and yes, people are having fun. Yeah, those and the red, they are playing cards. You know, the Kumasi boys are. You know, everybody, and you go to the room, they are there chatting. So we don't put, you know, tension on ourselves. You know, we were relaxed, and we could be like Joe was saying, we could be in camp for about 2-3 months before that match. So you've already planned ahead. You know, the tension has already left you.
And sometimes in training, the coaches will select and you say, this is Ghana team, this is Nigeria team, play against each other.
So this side should play hard.
Oh, yes. It was funny. I have a funny story though. I played under 17. I captained the under 17. My first time we played against Nigeria. We played and we had to win our last game against Nigeria to go to the World Cup. And the first leg was here in Accra. And The second leg was in Sulilere, and we played 0-0, and we missed out to go to the World Cup. And Nigeria went and won the World Cup. Then, when I was in Under 20, Nigeria hosted a tournament in Abuja, Bauchi, and they were Cameroon, Senegal, Guinea, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia. And we went to the semi-finals with Nigeria. We beat them and we won the tournament. Okay. And then in the senior team, Black Stars, we played them in Kumasi and in Lagos. And in Lagos, we drew 0-0, but in Kumasi, we beat them 1-0. So I have a good history with Nigeria, being on the winning side, you know, having lost once. So I'm hoping and praying that tomorrow's game, our guys will be very, very alert. Don't take it too much serious, because if you think like that, you make a lot of mistakes. Just relax, go in there. I know they are not hearing us, but for some of them who have played on these high places, this game is one of them games. Just go there and enjoy yourself, and if you do that, we can win the game tomorrow.
Derek and Fatah, I mean, let's look at the game itself now in many ways. It is said that Ghana doesn't have a striker since Asamoah left, and that we struggle to score goals, that even the Nigerians themselves had the cheek to tell us that they have about 20, so if you want that, they can loan us some. How can you compare, and do you need to really have a striker?
Asamoah, to be honest with you, Asamoah was one of the best strikers that Ghana has have, and during his time, he made his mark. And the young players that are coming, they're supposed to learn from it, but they didn't. They always come to the camp and admire him and not working hard because they know that they are not going to play. He's going to play all the games. But I don't want to mention names, but there is a lot of good strikers that we had, and they come to the camp and waste their career, waste their time. You know, when I used to play, my agent always tell me that a player like Rubino comes to Europe and wastes his talent, and it's true. Some of the players that are coming to the national team, they just come just to be there, not to make their mark or make something there for people to talk about. Because if you say we have good strikers that they can, you know, be there and fit in Asamoah Gyan shoes right now.
That's Asamoah Gyan of 2010, the Nations Cup. Hey, that had bushy hair.
Yeah.
Please go on, Derek. Please go on. Is that Harrison Apple?
Yeah, yeah.
My goodness.
And that's Milo. That's Milo part 1.
I'm happy you emphasized that. Did you plan? That was the goal.
Milo.
And that was a team that was. Some of the clubs in Europe refused to release some of the players. Michael Essien got injured in the first match against Ivory Coast and didn't play again. Yet they got to the final with a seriously depleted squad.
You know, Nigeria, they've never had a good team.
It's individuals?
Individuals.
Yeah, like they have players.
They have players.
Like if you check on book, right now we cannot stand in front of them.
Yeah.
When we go by paper.
It's the first time I've watched a Nigerian team and I've admired them.
The Nations Cup.
The Nations Cup.
They were good.
Because they played as a team.
They were good.
Yeah.
You know, those days they had Okocha, Kanu, individual play, but now you could see that is the reason why the people are a bit scared, because they came for the first time. We saw, hey, these people, they are playing as a team, but like we said, Ghana.
These are the players that they picked. For many Ghanaians, they may not necessarily know most of them. But the name that they will certainly know is Ahmed Musa, who's got a lot of pace. Moses Simon, who can dribble like no other. Osimhen, who is scoring goals for Napoli for fun. Odion Igalo, who is actually not playing regularly, but is an absolutely great goal scorer in his own right. And of course, we can never leave out Kelechi Iheanacho. I'm surprised to see Ademola Lookman, because I thought he was going to play for Belgium. I really thought he was going to play for Belgium because he was born there. But It seems as if he's decided to play for. The rest, I don't have any fears.
Emmanuel Dennis.
Thank you very much. Watford.
Yeah.
Thank you. The rest, I don't have any fear about, because I've always said that Nigeria's weakness has been their defense, and that people can pass away through. Question is, can you outscore them and prevent them from scoring? Ndidi is not playing; he's injured, so he's not even going to play both matches in midfield. How they'll be able to sort it out? But for you as a goalkeeper, assuming you are sitting there, would you be talking to your defenders now before tomorrow, or you wait till tomorrow and then you talk to them how you want things planned, knowing that you are the first choice goalkeeper?
Well, that will start from training.
Okay.
Definitely today's training. Today is the official training for the team. I know they will have the team shaping, and the coach will let you, the goalkeeper, know how you want you to start or how you want you to play. So you have to also communicate with the defenders. Maybe the coach will say, okay, let's start build up, or let's start from behind, or let's give long balls or something like that. So
okay.
I think
so we can see that's Richard Kingston there, and then Richard Ofori, and then Ziggy.
Yeah.
What happened to
where is he coming from?
Ziggy,
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to what's his name? The one who caught in the Nations Cup. Wallacott.
No, he's there. They are all there. I think this is a picture, like they took them picture from that side. They are all there.
He was then warming up before the picture was taken.
The surprise name for me and was Felix Afenajan. I've been seeing him courtesy of you know what I mean, DSTV and things, and he looks quite good when he comes on as a sub. But my worry is that I'm not putting too much pressure on him at this early stage of his career, because he's only just joined Roma and he's only started playing. And
for me, for him coming to the national team, I think, like you said, it's too early for him. Even in Roma, he doesn't play regularly. You understand? And I was surprised that they included him in the squad, because playing against Nigeria is not an easy game. Yeah. It's a tough game. You have to bring players. Yeah, you have to bring a players that who are ready to play.
Yeah, but some people will say that. In fact, some people said Yao back then, 91. He shouldn't play. He shouldn't play. He should go and learn. But I can remember that match very vividly. He came on and he caused problems to the opposition.
A lot of things have changed now.
You know,
the game itself have changed.
That match, my match against Nigeria, there was a match we just needed a draw. And yes,
here we need a victory.
We need a victory.
Yeah.
And I remember he didn't tell me to go and score. He said just run them. You and now just run them, and exactly. But you remember, if you can remember, the pressure was on us.
Yeah.
The whole 90 minutes.
Yeah.
They had a penalty.
Yes.
18 missed it, and Eddie was man of the match.
Yeah, Eddie will be man of the match because he had a broken hand, and then suddenly that was before the match.
Wow.
They made him put his hand in like bandage. That he has broken his hand. So then suddenly, when the team comes out, those days we don't have to give the team like 2 hours before so they can put it up. When suddenly the team comes out, here is the goalkeeper who had spent about 10 years of his life in Nigeria. Playing for Iwanyawu. Suddenly here's the man they feared standing in the goal. But I thought he had a broken hand. He was there. So psychologically.
And then we didn't use the number 10 shirt because he told them Abidi
was coming.
Yes, at halftime. So as the game was going on, you could hear the Ghanaian fans shouting, Abidi, Abidi. And on the field, you feel it. Has it arrived? Because then you could just come in and dress. Because your name is on the sheet.
Yeah.
So we thought he would come, not knowing he was one of Booker's. But you know, a game like this, when I was playing it, the days I don't like is the day before the match.
I'll ask all of them. Is that true? I'll ask all of you.
I don't like it at
Why?
all. I don't like it, especially we go to the grounds and do the team shaping, and then we'll be singing. Those days, I don't remember. We don't even sing.
You guys don't
we just
sing.
go in there.
You guys don't sing that.
No. We just go and we just go in there and then do our team shaping. And I hate
those times. You guys are raw. Yeah. You don't have swag, no swag. You just come and play, win and go.
We had the best singers.
You have best players.
No.
Oh.
We had the best singers.
Yeah.
I tell you. Kofi Abre.
The one who crossed it for Sarah Mensah.
Yeah. Kofi will sing for the angels too.
The Western, not Nation.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper who died. Salif.
Yeah. Yes.
Ebo Smith.
They all came from the West.
The West. Ebo Smith. These guys can sing. And we hey, South Africa 96.
But our Jama is tasty than yours.
No, yours is Jama.
Yours is different.
Yours is Jama. Yours is Jama.
Yours, you bring somebody else to come and play drums for you.
Yeah, but we are the ones singing.
Singing. We our time we didn't have nobody join the team just
no
because
drum.
of drums.
We had our own
You are the ones singing.
and we had
that one was there before you came.
and when we were singing,
we left it for you guys. We didn't have a drummer to come and
but
our
you know something, we liked singing until we went to South Africa.
Yeah.
And they shut us out. They literally shut us out. How?
Yeah.
We went to see Mandela, and before we went there, we went to a school. We almost had an accident.
Yes.
The plane almost crashed. But fortunately, we were good.
So
so the plane started. The bus, we were bused to a school, and from the school we would go to Mandela. And we were singing in the bus, we were, Before we got the bus stopped, we could hear some sounds from somewhere, and we didn't know where it was coming from. Not knowing the whole school, they were like middle school.
Yes.
They were singing. The whole school, not like selected group. The whole school, they were singing. Some were singing alto, bass.
You could feel.
I saw Abedi. He was. We were.
In Kosikelele, Africa.
You could feel something.
You thought we were better.
So when we were playing them in the semi-final, in the tunnel, we didn't sing. We didn't sing because they were so good. The tone, the voice. Oh, it was.
But it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, I want to focus on the immediate generation before the current generation, which is Fatawu and Derek. That the singing, does it uplift you people? Does it play any serious role? Because I'm wondering, then why don't I go and sing with all due respect to Bob Marley? Feel it in the wardrobe.
But you know, what I can say is that some of the time before the game, a lot of players are nervous. So singing always bring the nerves out of the players, and also it's a gospel. So it's something that we all believe in God, and we know that with God all things are possible. And so we always make sure that we sing well and we put on good jama and dancing so that we release the stress, before the game. So that's the only thing I can say, but there's nothing more to it.
Before Fatawu comes in, I'll also mention one thing. I had the privilege of going with the Black Stars to was Cameroon, but we had to pass through Gabon over that infamous space in which the Zambian team died. Now, when we went to Cameroon, that second leg, Ghana won. So when we went onto the Air Force plane, we were all full of it. And I remember Samuel Osei was singing Danasi. We were singing Daonyamenasi. Then we hit the turbulence. And then suddenly the plane was losing altitude and things. From that moment to the time the plane landed, nobody sang anything. Nobody sang a single song. And I'm bringing this up because your generation really sing a lot. You do. We've got videos of them seeing how did this thing come about, and does it really, please be truthful to me, does it really help you to play to your best, or just because of the friendship you have, so you're all just singing as you go on?
Well, I think it brings some spirit among us, especially a day before the match, after the official training, we sing, and that's gospel. But most of the time, the Jama is when we finish training in the bus. Then when we sing Jama, we'll be like sharing jokes until we go to our hotel. And the gospel goes well because we have a drama, and then Asamo will be singing. This is our match day. We'll be singing, and then this
that thing that you have.
You know, you see Asian 2 and then playing the Marrakesh. So it goes well. I think it's like spiritual something, because we pray a day before the match, so we'll sing on the foot before we go to the hotel, and then maybe after dinner we'll gather and sing, and then maybe we'll share ideas among ourselves before the game. So
it's interesting you talked about dinner, because I want to find out, are you allowed to eat what you want to eat?
No, because we have doctor there. You can't eat anything before the game. No, especially the match day, the pre-match meal. Even some of the boys don't eat. Some of them take tea alone because of the game they are going to play.
So tell me, if I want to sneak away quietly and go and take, with all due respect, my comic shito, hello, fufu, can be I mean,
no, you can't do that, because you know the important the game is, and also you know that this kind of food you can't take it before a match, so you have to go what the doctor told the hotel to do.
But it must be annoying then.
Yeah, but we
see FA people eating their food, and then you are doing.
There was a time we stopped them for doing that, because it's like we want to eat that one, but we cannot eat because of the game. So we asked them to stop eating in front of us like that. Yeah. Okay. So what normally we do is, like, after the game, then we can have all the food that we want to eat. They bring
but
it
in this case, there's another match coming up. Do you think they'll allow them to take the food on? I mean, 4 days later, there's another match.
No, after the game.
After the game, after the game, yeah.
You know, this singing thing, you know, most of especially the newcomers, they are brofus, you know, their first time of.
Yeah. What about that? Wallaport and all those.
It's a little bit, they will feel more like
a part of the team.
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, in Europe, in Europe, you don't sing before a match.
But they welcome you.
You sit down.
With
I remember when I went to Anderlecht, and then I came back to Ghana to play for House of Oak. When I came back to play for House of Oak, and we were in the bus going for a match, and they were screaming and they were making noise. I was.
Ask myself, because
I entered another, part of football. Like, when you are going for a match, it's focus, concentration. Your workman.
Very
then
good.
We had our workman.
That's
and
your
everything.
era.
So you sit in the bus, focus. When you get to the stadium, walk, get prepared, sit down, and then you can have a chat with a colleague, but you don't make noise. Then come back,
and then you see.
And he's Dede from Newtown.
All the way to
Before you get to the stadium, players are already tired. So when Pele doesn't like to sing, but
he doesn't know how.
Yes. Okay, that's it.
So
but he will tell, oh, Chale, nyela. So the like of Pipi, Benadai, and Samia Jays, and he they know what, but he will not sing. He will be in the car and be doing, since you've been there then I know where he's coming from. In the beginning, I didn't understand what, but after spending time in Europe, I realized, okay, if you don't take care, you will lose everything. When you come here, you will listen to the music, but you don't want to get involved.
Then I need to find out from you, Joe, I'll get to you, but then you in particular, because you kept on going, and when I say going in and out, you come to Black Stars, and then they are doing Jama. Meanwhile, when you go to Greece, when you go to Germany, when you go to Fulham, whatnot, you weren't doing that. How were you balancing the two?
Yeah, like you said, it's sometimes, like I always say that you always remember where you're coming from. You have to know the culture that we have in Ghana and what is going on in Europe. You cannot compare, because playing for Ghana is such an honor for all of us, Or if you ask us to choose playing in Europe and playing for Ghana, we'll choose Ghana because, this is our country, the country that we love, where everybody respects and love you. But in Europe, it's different. You understand? indifferent, because when you are going for a game, like it's like I was saying, you have to concentrate. You have to have your let's say your music in your ear, listening to music and concentrating. Some of them, they don't even concentrate. The white people, they don't even concentrate. I remember when I went to Greece for the first time, we are going to play against Panathinaikos. I was in the bus thinking about the game, like fully concentrated. And one of the guys, you know, the white boys came to me. He asked me, why am I serious like that?
Are you going to a funeral?
Yeah, and I said to him that we have a game against Panathinaikos. And Panathinaikos is one of the big clubs in Greece. So I know that the game, people are watching it, so I have to step up my game. So I was concentrating and just thinking about the game. And he came to me, he asked me, why am I serious about? And I said to him, we have a game. He said, I should not worry. They beat us 5, but we should work hard.
Slow down. It shouldn't be more than 5. Let me rewind. Repeat that part.
He said to me that I should not worry, but they are going to beat us 5, but we should work hard so that we reduce it to 2. Look, trust me. From 100 to 0 degrees straight, my spirit dropped.
It's true. I know where Derek is coming from.
I said to myself, hey.
Yes. When I went to Anderlecht, when I left Anderlecht to Gaziantep. Gaziantep is a mid club
in Turkey.
In Turkey, before Johnson for you came. And when we were going to play against Fenerbahce, our first match was against Fenerbahce when they had Uche, JJ, and the rest of Fener. And the players were telling me, they were saying, because they couldn't speak good English, they tell, Fener, 3 points is gone. 3 points, which points did they? 3 points. I said, why? Why are you thinking like that? Then they start mentioning, they know even the Fenerbahce players more than you. Yeah, Fenerbahce. And then we had a left footer from one of the, he was our left back. And he said, we also have Preco. That's me.
Okay.
And then the one guy was sitting there and said, one man against 11. One man against. So I was like, is that how you think it? So we lost 1-0. And when we entered the dressing room, they were happy. Like, Fener beat us 1. Yeah, because we thought they're going to beat us. They had Anderson, Revivo.
Yeah.
And then, they thought they were going to.
So does it mean that then in your case too, that's what in your case, does it mean that then if you lost 2-0, then
we have done well? That's what they believe in. So they are telling me not to just put too much pressure on myself, or like I'm thinking about we are going to win that game, but I should forget about that. We have to think about not to concede like 5 goals, so that we can concede 2 goals.
Then that game used to be
for me. When I'm going to play that kind of
football.
games,
you remember those days?
I pay attention to it because I know that that's where people are watching. That's where I can make my name. So for me, like after that game, that's how I moved to Panathinaikos. After that game, because I give a good game for myself.
Everything you had,
because I know that the team is not even thinking about winning. So that moment, I was thinking about how to perform well as a Ghanaian player, as an African player amongst them. But to be honest with you, their behavior is really, really bad.
But for you in South Africa, it was different because you were with a big team. Fatao, Orlando Pirates. That one, I suppose they don't tolerate.
Yeah, when I went there, even in the contract, Pirates, I don't know now, they don't pay bonus. They don't pay match bonus until you win a trophy before you get the bonus. Yes, that's their policy.
Then they must change it because right now Sundowns have left them way behind.
So
but
they are team that they want to win
big clubs are like that. Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, big clubs are like that. They go about trophy.
So I remember my time we won an FA Cup. I came to the World Cup. When I came back, my account was full because you get the money according to the matches you play.
Okay.
When I came back, by then at a certain stage I was going to camp. I was not playing. But the keeper there was a captain for Bafana. He's doing well. Our department, we don't change like that.
Yes,
I understand. And the coach here, Coach Apia told me, Fatao, you keep pushing. When you go to train, keep pushing. I know if goalkeeper is doing well, they don't change. But sometimes they give me chance to play when we are playing. Like, if we don't play a game and I'm in camp, I'll come to the training grounds and come and play a try match before I go back to camp. So at least the shape is there, although I'm not getting playing time. So if you don't win a game, you don't get a best. But I commend the agent. He did well for me to get a good salary. By then I didn't know there's no bonus. I thought it was Ghana. If you win a match, they win a match. But this was no bonus. So I think we won a cup, and then the money is good. The money was good. Yeah, okay. The FA Cup there.
Joe, I mean, you were in two minds. I'll be fair to you. You were in two minds because you were thinking about your education. So whilst you were still playing, you were still doing whatnot. When they call you from Belgium, where you started when you went to Europe, right?
I started in Germany.
In Germany. When they called you to the Black Stars, was it a case of, hey, Charlie, these guys, they for no call me, they make I can't sit bench. Was it that sort of thing, or straight away then you just come in and regardless of what you were doing at the time, you just come?
My case was different. It was a little bit unique because I was already playing for the Black Stars before I went to Europe.
Okay.
You know, and I played for Black Stars, went to university, and then started playing professional. So when the calls came for me to come back to play for the national, I thought it was over. Once I started school, I knew I wasn't the same player anymore. But during that time, I kept being invited to come home. And it was great because all these players will come from Marseille, Frankfurt, Tony Yeboah, Ali Ibrahim will come from Vattenscheid, and all these big players. And then they will bring a student from America, not a student from maybe England or something, from America, where soccer wasn't a big deal. So I thought what I did in the past, you know, gave them that opportunity, or gave me that opportunity for me to be invited. But so for me, it was great. Anytime I got invited, it was good news for me. It was amazing. And then you come, you meet all these great players. There were some that I didn't even know because I had led the country. So
I asked because of our attitudes, not the players,
I know
the fans, the media. Oh, why are you bringing the, you know what I mean? You know, come on. And then I'm asking then, what kept on making you people keep on coming? Because in some people's case, and probably rightly so, they say, I finished. I'm not coming again. Leave me in peace. And you yourself, you know, because I remember Charles told me a story, Charles Akuno. And that's why when he was coaching, he didn't want to acknowledge many things. He said that Polo had been advised that when he comes out to the field with a team and the people are giving him fans, he should just focus and walk down. Hatsobo come out, Polo comes out, and then people are shouting Polo. Then one guy just starts, Polo, the greatest Ghanaian player. And then Polo made the mistake to acknowledge the guy. The next statement, another guy said, Polo. For those who don't understand, he knows nothing. It brings you down to earth. Yeah. And I'm talking about those sort of comments. When you hear them, does it affect your enthusiasm? Any of you can take this up.
Oh, yeah.
To come for the national team.
Yeah, especially you know, normally we arrive on Mondays and when you are training, those days it was open to all.
Yeah.
And you could hear, you know, supporters from the other side when now they want to now that's what you could hear them, especially when they come to shooting, you see players hiding, you know, because when you miss it, they will give it to you. Yes, they will give it to you, and they used to come there. Nobody will control. They will just come and but when the training is moving the way they want it, and you can hear when a shot is from Derek, the way they will applaud, and when it's from you, then you know that this side is for Derek, and this side. So, but when you know, it's like Joe said, if you are going to start, you know you're going to start.
Okay.
Because it got to a stage, I realized I was the only number 7. Okay. When I come, I'll start. And it got to a time to, you know, I think under Dosena, you know, I realized, you know, I had competition. You know, there was this Boatin, there was Ashgood, they had another Boatin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
Not the late Boateng. There was another Boateng.
Yeah,
I think
he played from the wing. Yeah,
from the wing. I thought I had speed, but when I watched, I think we played Gabon here, and I got injured. When I arrived, people were talking about him. Newspapers, everybody, graphic, everybody was talking about him. The boy is in form. So he has to start, because that was the time you guys started. You know, these making noise radio stations started coming in, and the guy is in form, and it's about time we have to let y'all know that. And when the game started, the first 2 minutes, I got injured.
So the guy now comes in.
Yes, and he
takes full advantage.
Yes, when he entered, everything was on his side. The way he used that position, and when he scored, he goes to the fans and said, me, number one, Papa. And I was sitting on the bench and I was looking at him, and I said, I'll come back again. I'll prepare for you. God, I've been in the system for almost 10 years. You can't take one game to, it's a competition, and I like that. The next game I came in, I think the next game was against Sierra Leone or so, when we beat them, I think 5 or so. I came from the bench and I changed the face of the game. You know, Dosena, I think that was Dosena's last match before he left the country. So, you know, those days it used to be the fans would come in, but nowadays, you know, people will go in and control them. Don't come and be insulting the boys, you know, go and cheer them. And now they don't even want them to come at all.
That's the problem. In fact, incidentally, when you said that, it reminded me of one highly controversial topic. And Ghanaians talk about it a lot. Reference to juju in football. So people say, oh, Padianele, he's jujuing this man. That's why this man is not. Did you have it within your time, within the Black Stars? Were you hearing them? Were you hearing things like these, particularly in the run-up to a match like Ghana versus Nigeria, key qualifiers? In your case, maybe against Egypt. And because at that time, even though Fatah was first choice, there was a clamor for people to bring a new goalkeeper. Was it Kwarese?
Kwarese, yeah. Kwarese was there before.
Sadly. So people were speculating, doing, you know, Joe, all manner of rumors. Juju, this one is juju, this guy. Were you seeing it in camp at all? Were you having cliques? Carl and Yao?
Not our generation.
Derek, not your generation.
No. In our generation, it happens a lot, you know. And I remember in Gabon, African Cup of Nations, and we are one of the favorites, you know. And during the camp, we all know that we are going to win that tournament in training, everything the way. But things happen in camp, and it's like the coach have to call us for a meeting. It's like the coach was Goran. So he called us, all of us, to talk to us, and everybody who has something to say have to talk. And I was sitting quiet because there's a lot of things going on in camp, and sometimes it's really, really scary. And I didn't talk, I was just quiet. Everybody spoke, and the coach asked me why I'm not talking. I said nothing. And he said, no, I need to say something. So I was just quiet. So someone was just pushing me to say something. And the only thing I said is like, we are all here to defend Ghana. So if anyone is here who knows that when you pray Ghana will win the cup, just do it. When you do juju, Ghana will win the cup, do it. Everything you do that Ghana will win the cup, do it. But don't do anything to destroy another player for you to play. That's what I said. And after I talked, no one said anything.
It didn't seem to work, Jericho. I'm saying it didn't seem to work because the report that Goran brought at the end of the tournament was so damning.
Yeah. So after when I said that, nobody said anything. Those people who are doing that know themselves. So nobody said nothing, and we got up and we went. And the next game where we are going, then Goran gave me a chain with a cross. Because all the time in the dressing room, I put my Bible, I open something, I open it, and with a Jesus picture, because I was playing Jerusalem before, so I go to the holy places and I pray a lot. So, and I put my jersey on top of that, and I'll pray. I'll read the Bible 3 times before I go to the field. So he gave me that cross to always pray, and he always tell me that I should pray for the team all the time. Whenever I'm praying, you know that I pray for myself, but I should continue to pray for the team, because he knows that a lot of things are going on in the camp. But it's, like I said to you, it's really, really scary. And for me, every player believes in whatever they know they would do to help them in the game. And like I said, if you know that you can pray and Ghana will win, just do it. But don't do things to destroy another player. And it happens a lot in the camp. You can see some of the players, you know, all the time when I come to the national team, I'm always having something. Suli Mitari is my witness. We're always in the room talking about it. The only game I play for Ghana with no injury, with nothing against England, the friendly match. The friendly match
in 2000.
Yeah, in Wembley. 2000, I think
2011.
Yeah, 2011. Yeah, that's the only game I play for Ghana without anything. Even in that game, I was supposed to start that game. Everything was fine. We went to the training a night before the game, and the coach called me to his room. He said to me that I'm going to start. I should help the young players. I should bring them together, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking about the game. And the next day, we are going for shake-up. Then the coach called me. He said to me that, I know I told you you're going to start the game, but I want to see some of the players, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't mad. I was okay. I was in the bus, supporting the team, advising them what to do and everything. I was singing, and we went to the game. The first half was really, really bad.
Yeah.
So then he told me that I'm going in the second half. So I should start warming up, so that when the first half is finished, I should start playing, which I did. And I came into the game, and the game changed. Everything changed on my side, and the whole team changed. We played very, very well. Someone scored a goal.
Equalizer,
yeah, and it was brilliant. But you know, I was asking myself, what happened before the game? What happened? You know, so a lot of things happen in the national teams, and you can see we're singing in front of Ghanaians. The back is not like that. You understand?
Yeah, I get you. I certainly get you.
It's not like that. We are singing in front of everyone, in front of cameras.
Behind the scenes is totally
It's not like
different.
that. You
Did you have it in your time?
And football is...
Okay,
yeah, sorry.
No, go on.
And football is a teamwork. It's a teamwork.
Wow.
Outside the pitch, on the pitch, we have to be together and everything. But look, it's not like that.
Were you able to have a chat with someone to get the whole team together to have a talk? Because in his time, I remember quite vividly, I don't know if it changed, but in his time, when Bokad was there, at least with Bokad, he would gather the whole lot of them and tell them A, B, C, D, E. But I don't think at that time the so-called juju element, or was there too?
He's been there ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been there long.
And before I forget
hold on a minute.
Before I forget something, the game that we played in Gabo, in the semi-finals against Zambia,
Yeah.
I got a record on that game.
Yes, I remember.
87 minutes or something like that, I got a record. Before that game, we supposed to, we have 45 minutes to do a warm-up. And the Zambians are outside doing warm-up. So we supposed to come. So Kwesi Appiah supposed to do the warm-up with us. So he was standing in front of the tunnel. I came, and I think, which player, Jonathan Mason or some more came, we're standing, waiting rest of the players. Everyone's saying that they don't want to go on the field first, but the day you have to come before they will go on the field.
Hey.
And look, boss, like 15 or 20 minutes, we're standing there without warm-up, and Zambians are doing warm-up. So the only warm-up that we did in that game is like just 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes.
Wow.
Because they said, a lot of players, some of them said they are not coming on the field first, or unless the day you come to the field first. So you can see some of them are in the toilet, some of them are sitting down, some of them are standing at the side. They are not going on the field because they said that they have to go on the field. So it was very disturbing, you know. And we have Goran, he was the coach, and Kwesi Appiah was the assistant, and he couldn't understand what is going on. So he was just standing quiet, And I was just standing with Kwesi up here.
That's
so after the game that we lost, that game against Zambia, we came to the dressing room, and some people are talking. I hear some voices. I flip up. I started blasting everybody. I blast everyone in the dressing room. And I think Nantechi saw that, so he came and, you know, just grabbed me and asked me, what's going on? You never seen me like that before. So he took me to the coach office, and he was asking me what happened. I told him what exactly happened. And like in the dressing room, you can see that people are just sitting down like regret. But why you know that what you are doing is not good, and you want to regret after the game. And it's not a club side. We are playing for Ghana. You understand? So it's not about you. It's about the whole nation. You understand? So it was really disturbing, some of the things that you see in camp, and people don't come out and talk about it. But for me, you know, it is what it is. We finish our career, and I'll say whatever I want to say. Nobody can stop me.
Understood. I mean, we are in a democratic country. Joe, your time was...
Are we?
well, at least the one thing I know that we can speak my mind. I can speak my mind against the government any day, and I don't feel threatened in any way, because for me, if it's black, it's black. If it's red, it's red. But Derek has spoken about a few things. We knew them to be on. Okay, let me put it this way. We thought they were rumors. We knew them, but that statement that made that, hey, even in your time?
Oh, he's been there. He's been there. Whoever will tell you he's not there, he's not telling you the truth.
Wow.
He's been there. But
how do you overcome it?
I don't care. I just go and play my game. We all come from different backgrounds.
So if I hate you,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody has power. I believe that nobody has power over me.
Okay.
That's my belief.
I get that.
And the other person will also believe that he has power over you. So it's you against the person. And it don't matter. At the end of the day, you want to win, like he said. You want to go there and win. So whoever or any footballer will come and tell you there's nothing, they don't know what they are talking about. He's been there long time. Because they are competition for places. And everybody wants to shine, you know. And if I will eliminate you to be there, then that's what I'll do, and that's what people used to do. Now, in my time, I grew up, I loved football. It didn't just come to me. I played it when I was a kid. Played Colts, school team, under 17, under 20, and you get those things way back from then. Even Colts, they were doing it. Colts football. Yeah, I played 78. I started 78 all the way, you know, till I started playing for Arnold Warriors and then to Hearts of Oak. So it's been there. You know, if the players don't do it, the clubs do it. It's there. Whoever will say it's not there, he's lying to himself. It's there. But for you, the player, is for you to either believe in it or don't. And you can be Botrobojo. You can be hot and cold. You can either go with it, go full, or go out. And I came from a very strong Christian background, and there are so many things I don't believe in. There are some foods I don't even eat. So we will go to camp, and when they prepare the food with pork and all, I won't eat it. But I didn't tell nobody. I could go to camp. I think you guys saw me. I go to camp with my books. Yeah. When people are singing and playing car, I'll go with my books reading, because I had
exams around the corner.
Yeah. So I didn't put my concentration on going to a pastor to pray for me. For me, it was I didn't care for those things. But there were other players who did. And sometimes it gets in the way of our results. It does. Because then it becomes a distraction on all the players. You know, if you're doing it in your room, fine. Yeah. Go ahead and keep it a secret. Do it. Glorious.
I think like this.
But the moment you bring it out, then you affect everybody else. And that is where it's wrong.
Another time it was more in the room. It was more in the room. Like, there was respect. You know, the players are matured, and you don't want to come out and whatever that you have in a, you know. And it was more, people were using more handkerchief, and you could hear smells and everything. But it's not like as Derek was saying, this one doesn't want to come out first, this one doesn't want, this one, you know, people were not pointing fingers at. You know leather. Everyone knows what Shamu was capable of. And he will scare you. Like the powder thing he did here when we played Sutra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what they think I'll do. Today let me do something crazy. Brought in powder, and then with the handkerchief, everybody, okay, it's Shamu. The Ivorians were already scared. You know, psychologically, people like to play, but like we're saying, it's not to, you know, if you have to, like Derek is saying, if you have to do it for the team to win, we're all looking for 3 points.
Okay.
If you have to do, you know where you are coming from, your background, and if you have to do for the team to win, now your matter. But to stop another player for you, because they've been, years back, the national team used to be in camp for
months.
For a month,
for 3 months.
Yes,
and that sort of,
so they
even
were
72 years.
Yes, they were used to each other, but this one, short period, they'll come, and professionalism to the game has, you know, has moved to another step. People are traveling out of the country, so you won't, especially when you are a local based player and a professional comes in, you feel like I'm better than him, and I need to eliminate him, and or I have to carry Ghana on my shoulders, and you know, all these petty things. You know, it doesn't you know, help. At the end of the day, like Joe said, the result that we all waiting for. You know, you can predict Ghana will win this match, but due to
little infighting,
then you because juju is in I can say there's juju in football, because if two spirits are fighting, if two spirits are two bad spirits, let's say two bad spirits are fighting, you think God will come in?
You leave them to fight.
You leave them to fight, and the one that is is stronger. Yeah.
Right, folks. I'm sorry to bring that dampener, but we had to get that part out, and particularly in light of what Goran Stefanovic wrote back in 2012 when he finally decided that he was going, and then he left his report, and it was so damning, and it's really being corroborated by what Derek said. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, Gloria will be in-house to take your comments on the various social media platforms that we have. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yapreko, Derek Boatin, and Fatau Dauda. What do they have in common? They've all played for the Black Stars at one time or the other, and not like a 1 match or a 2 match or a 5 match one. They played quite a bit and know the intrigues of what goes on with them. This is now time for my favorite part of the program, and Sweet Gloria, not the old Gloria, Kwekubako's mother, but Sweet Gloria. I don't like the name Pepra, but when Gloria Pepra. Lefty, take over.
All right, so it's been an interesting conversation, and I tell you this much from listening to conversations around Derek, and you made Derek points go high, because especially around the Jujune, the amount for Enyaji, because we've been talking about the Black Stars. But let's get into some of your comments and let's listen to what you've been saying. We'll be going on to Twitter, but we're starting off with Facebook and your comments. This one says, Franklin says, Ghanaians should know that this is not the time for criticizing the Black Stars, but let's give all our support to the Black Stars tomorrow. I wish them all the best. And that's coming in from Franklin, still strong on Facebook. And then on Twitter, writer Gio says, we're beating them despite their good form. We don't care. Oh, we are Ghana. We are the Black Stars. And then Dido says, no sound. So Dido was not too happy at the time. But Derek Boateng, this one says, Abbas says, I have always loved Derek Boateng's style of play. Great confidence on the ball, neat in passing and intelligent long-range passing to find teammates in the final third. Love watching you in your days at Getafe. All right, so Derek, that's somebody who had been watching you for a very long time. So Mark says, my name is Mark Dogbedas. He says, GTV Sports Plus, you're the best station in Ghana. Akosia J, I love you so much. Well, Akosia is at home, but she will hear you because she's watching the show. Says, great talent, great future ahead of you. I'm happy. I'm listening to you. And this one is from Beatrice Boache. She says, e-ticketing is not moving fast at all. So Beatrice doesn't like the e-ticketing too much, but my understanding is that a lot of fans have gotten their tickets. So Beatrice, try harder, and then you might end up having your ticket. So let's move on to Facebook now. And then, so Franklin Still Strong says that you should know. I think I've done Franklin's own. He says we should support the Black Stars. So Collins also says Ghana 2, Nigeria 0. Kwabna Angela says, sadly, this episode has nothing to do with saving our passion. This episode gives us in-depth, doesn't give us an in-depth understanding of what must be done to save the passion, save the GFA and the Black Stars. Kwabna Angelo. Well, it's your opinion though, but I do not agree with you, because what's being spoken today, there are things that we do not know of, and so we're listening and hearing things for the first time. And if the young ones are listening, this is the time that they should just put on their thinking cap and listen to the greats who have played for the Black Stars in the past. So we're moving on now, and this one says, Ernest Afriye says, the veteran Carl, I miss you, says, so Carl, this one is for you. And so Bismarck says, don't agree with Derek with you saying that John is too young. Dede was 17 when he was playing the AFCON 2008. If you're good, you're good. So Derek, you have an answer for that?
If you're good, you're good. But not against Nigeria. Now, against Nigeria, you bring people who are ready. You don't bring normal players or young players or anything. You can bring young players, but players. Team, all of them are playing regular in their clubs, and they are going to use them. So I think he has his own opinion, I have mine, so we take it like that.
All right, so Bismarck, dear, that was your answer. And so, but I ask says that, what do you call a national team with no spirit? Okay. So Jay Brown says, trust me, this game is really going to go through going to be tough tomorrow. Our players shouldn't take anything out for granted. Okay, so Michael Okansi says, well, he only retweeted, he only wrote Echo Arthur's name. I think it was a reply to him. And then Muller says, please, will it be live on Facebook, Muller, if the World Cup qualifier, this conversation, the World Cup qualifier, I'm not too sure about it being on Facebook, but we'll see. And so Kunta says, Ghana 1, Nigeria 0. Samuel Tete says, Samuel Tete, let me skip because we have fixed it. This one says, Ike Newton says, my only feel is that Walcott. Okay, so I think he says his only fear is Walcott. Well, we don't know who's starting the game tomorrow, do we? So Adriano says Ghana 3, Nigeria 0. Frank says you guys must speak to Abba. The Brofo is coming too much. All right, so Frank is on Shadan Brofo San Wasria. So the Sinclair says, Derek, we want you back in the team. Derek, you ready?
I'm old though. Now the energy I have to support the team. Yeah, they support the young players.
You can play 30. All right, so let us move on. Ike Newton says, referring to experience, I think, well, Ike, you might probably be referring to the conversations that's been going on here. And Evans says that why must they speak tree at all costs? So, well, somebody says they should speak tree. Evans says, I didn't know what some country. I didn't know. And so let's do a few messages on WhatsApp and then we will wrap it up here. And this one says, good evening, Mr. Tufo and your guest. May the wind of change against Nigeria in March be our favor tomorrow. We need this, so help us God. Help us Ghana. All right, so this one Michael says, Michael from Kanda says, the blogger Angel Michael writing from Kandara states, this round of guests is apt and the most expected before a crucial game tomorrow against Nigeria. Keep the fire burning. GTV Sports Plus, we can't wait for the game tomorrow. So Cal, there's
right,
a lot
Gloria,
more,
thank you.
but we have to wrap it up.
Yep, thank you very much, Gloria. Those are your comments on social media. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue in-house and round up everything because I know time is fast spent. Please don't go anywhere. All right, folks. Unfortunately, time is spent. I can't keep them any longer, so I'm going to get a word each from them all, and then we'll have to end the program. Let me start with you, Joe, since you're closest to me. You want to talk about Samoa General?
Yes. I want to say something about, well, first of all, tomorrow's game, we're all praying and supporting the Black Stars to be victorious. And I know every former player has the same opinion as I do. We want them to win to make us proud, because the World Cup is the biggest stage for every player. I want to talk a little bit about Samoa. There was something that went on in the social media about don't say anything. We only go or say the negative things that happens to him. You know, I'm not saying he's perfect. He might not be.
Nobody is perfect.
And I'm not saying it because honestly, I don't even know him. He's not my friend or anything. He's too young for me.
I'm your friend.
But I'm saying that competitions than any of them, and we don't glorify him. You know, I find it very pathetic. I find it very, because in the United States where I live, they glorify their players. They do.
I know that.
In Germany, where I used to play, the players that won the World Cup, their names are written in stones. You know, it's not Ghana when you have a street named after. In Germany, they glorify them. I remember when they won the World Cup in 2014, when the players were playing for their teams, the opposing teams were clapping for the World Cup winners. You know, we have such a player in our midst, or somebody who has done this for us, and we don't glorify. Rather, we say negative things. He might have made a mistake. That's fine. We all do, you know, but we have to look at what he has done for this country. And he has done great. There was a time he was sick. We were playing against, I don't know, Senegal or something, yes, and they brought him in. And as soon as he came in, he scored. I mean, he has raised our international level so high, and he needs to be glorified. Yeah, I'll say the same thing about Abedi Pele and Tony Yeboah. Tony Yeboah was the first African to win top scorer in Germany. You know, in worst things about our star players. Like today, we just lost Isaac Acquaye. You know, great player. You know, but we are talking about him now that he's dead. And it's not a consolation for the family. Yes, it's not a consolation. So for me, Samoa needs to be glorified by Ghana. He's done a great thing for our nation. And for those who are in social media who know this stuff, go and Google it and see which African player has scored more goals than Samoa in international competitions. None. And we have him here. He should be part of our football minds. You know, he should be an ambassador of our football. You know, because other countries respect him. We don't. And it's very bad.
Let me make a confession on behalf of all Ghanaians. Unfortunately, what Joado is saying is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. We destroy our own. And in my case, I think that it's about time we stood up. And Kudwa Mensah will probably be smiling today because he says for him, Asamoah is the greatest Ghanaian footballer of all time. For him. And that speaks volumes from what Joe has said. Yeah, what do you want to say to round up today?
Tomorrow is the D-Day. nothing but they just have to be themselves, showcase what they are capable of. They should just go in as normal. They shouldn't just put pressure on themselves. As we hear, we've spoken about what goes on before the match and after the match. It tells you, Ghana, Nigeria, take it as normal game. Go in there, mental toughness, just relax, have your warming up, wait for the whistle, and then do your own thing. Because football, 3 things: win, lose, or draw. You will still live to fight another day. Okay. Just do your best.
Great. Derek?
I want to chip in about what Joe said about Samoa. I'm really, really happy that he raised that topic, because I was watching a lot of things that are going on social media. But me personally, if I was him, I would not take it back. I will not take it back, because that's the truth. It's about time that people like him will start talking about the players that they invite. Because that player, Majid Ashimaru, is a great player. He's a player that have to be in the squad right now. So me, myself, I don't know why he's not there. I've been watching this boy playing, and he's playing regular. You know, he's not just playing just team. He's playing one of the best teams in Europe, Anderlecht. And he was there before. Odati Lamte was playing that team before. Anderlecht is not a small club. A player who is playing regularly there each and every week, not in the squad. Come on, what are we doing? So I think it's about time as someone will say something, and I'm really, really happy that he come out. But for him to take it back, no. That's the truth. And you know, in Ghana, when you say the truth, people don't like it. Yeah. But he need to talk. It's about time all the players, young players, the old players who started voicing out. Because we need our football to go well. For some of us, for me, I'm not going to speak about anyone, but I speak for myself. Football has given me everything I have. Football gave me my family, my wife. Football has given me so much. I don't know where I'll be without football. So if we are talking about football, we always go with our passion and our heart and everything. We can't cheat when it comes to the game. So I think it's good for me that he's saying something like that. And Ghanaians have to support whatever he's saying, because he knows the truth. He knows what is going on. He has been there, and he knows this nonsense has to be stopped. That's what he said. It's true. That boy has to be in the squad. So I don't know the reason why. But all the same, we are still supporting Ghana, wishing them well. They should take this game very seriously. It's a very important game for us. And Ghanaians have to know that this is a young team that we are building. Things will go bad before we get better. So no matter what happens in that game, we should keep on supporting the Black Stars, and it will go well.
Fatau Dauda.
Well, as a former member of the team, I think I can support the team with a prayer. We are almost in the month of Ramadan, the holy month. Tomorrow is Friday. You can see that's one my white. I'll pray for them tonight, but all will depend on them. If they are listening to me, I can give them one word that Professor Minta gave me 9 years ago. It's a big game. Go and play without fear. As Senior Ado said, play and express yourself. The results will come by itself. Yeah. Respect them, but don't be scared of them. I wish them good luck.
I'll tell you one thing. I am sincerely humbled to be in their midst. It's not every station that can get 4 players who played for the Black Stars sitting in the studio at one go. You get them normally 1-1-1. I'm highly appreciative of you guys coming and taking time off. You could have
been a legend TV station. Legend.
I just arrived yesterday.
Yeah, I know. And in the case of Joe, I actually called him when he was in Dubai. By transit, he was coming home, and I had to plead with him. I called Yao a million times. Yao returned the call. And Yao told that even though it was too late, he will be here, even though he had to go elsewhere. I called Derek Boatin. The man told me that he would do it for my sake. And then we called Fatau Dauda.
He called me only yesterday evening.
Only yesterday evening.
Wow.
Yes.
When you called me, I was in Akosomo.
Yes, I was told. Yesterday evening. So folks, when you see people in here And I wish some of you guys would be producers or you'll be hosts, so that you see how it can be. And if tomorrow they get up and say, I won't come, understand where they are coming from. Because your attitude, my attitude, leads to them going into the background when they should rather be at the forefront. Because, like Joe said, we should treasure our own. And I thought what he said about Asamoah Gyan was so deep. At least I'll tell you one thing. I think I'm old enough to have seen quite a few players. I highly respect them. Yes, they make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, from the president of the republic. He has made mistakes and will continue to make mistakes. The only entity that doesn't make mistakes is God. Everybody else. So if you can't forgive and forget about something, or if somebody's little misdemeanor tends to overshadow all the, and I'm using my words carefully, all the bloody good things he's done, then who the heck are we as a nation? Then this is not a nation worth dying for. And all these 4 players died for this nation. Before we go, I want to bring up on the screen the matches that we'll be showing. Every single match. Here you are. For those who feel they can't see, 2 p.m. live on GTV Sports Plus, DR Congo against Morocco. 5 p.m. on GCTV and GTV Sports Plus, Cameroon against Algeria. Then on the other 2 channels, Ubonu TV and GTV, that's the main GTV, at the same 5 p.m., Mali, Tunisia. Now, the Senegal and Egypt match, the Ghana-Nigeria match are being played at the same time. So we had no choice, absolutely no choice. We are putting out all the 4 networks, GTV Sports Plus, GTV Main, Ubonu TV, and GTV. And then we are going to record the Egypt-Senegal match and then play it back at 10:30 after we finish. So I go through it again. 2 p.m., DR Congo, Morocco. 5 p.m., Cameroon, Algeria. 5 p.m., Mali, Tunisia. 7 p.m., Ghana, Nigeria. And then 10:30 p.m., Egypt, Senegal. Yeah, Radhi, why did you have to bring this part up? Okay. Kwame Abua will be the host. I'm supposed to be on with Emmanuel Frimpong and Abukari Damba. This is a marathon session from 2 p.m. That's when the kickoff starts. They're going to go all the way up to 10:30 p.m.
Wow.
Ima, George, Gloria, Tilly, you better make sure that there's something available to eat, lunch and dinner. Folks, thank you very much. Thanks for coming to the program this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks to all those who make it possible. My cameramen are absolutely fabulous. Those who handle the social media platform, the director, the switchers, the producers, all of them, lighting guys, Jadon bless you. More importantly, for you who watch this program and who watch GTV Sports Plus, without you, we are nothing. I want to say thank you. This is the end of the program, but don't forget that Sunday evening, Sunday Night Live is coming back after a very long break because of live matches that we're having. We'll be back, God willing. See you then. Good night.